Hi and welcome back to Save with Crypto. My name's Save with Crypto, and just looking at the price of fish and chips. This is a token created by that Martini guy, and it's actually looking all right at the moment. It's been going up quite rapidly. Even last night, when everything had a little bit of a dump, the price of CHIPPY was going up quite nicely. Now, the other day I was talking about this, and I was thinking, I actually don't know how much I've actually spent on CHIPPY. I thought it's going to be difficult to work out because quite often I'd paid for it with Solana. So obviously the price of Solana has been going up and down quite a lot as well. So I thought that's going to be like almost impossible to work out. Then I suddenly realised if you go to SolScan and you look at your wallet address and then you filter by the CHIPPY token, you can see all the transactions. So in fact, there's actually 42 transactions here. The smaller ones are the ones where I've had the rebate for getting the fish and chips, which I talked about in the last video I did about CHIPPY. I'll link to that in the top corner right now. So that's what all these smaller amounts are. Now the bigger amounts are the transactions I did. So initially this was the one I did over in Tenerife. This was when I wanted enough to get free fish and chips so that we could have fish and chips in Los Cristianos on the Friday night while I was on holiday. That was my first one, so it was quite a cool one. So for that, I used $550 worth of Solana, I guess, to get that amount of CHIPPY there. So that was 149,663. So I think it was around here on sort of like Halloween, October 2024. So we've actually come down at the moment 63%. And then in the summer we were actually down about 90% from there. But I did buy bits of CHIPPY on the way down. I didn't buy much at the very bottom, I must admit, but I certainly had bought it on the way down. So I was curious to see how much I'd actually spent on CHIPPY and what it's worth today. And I was a little bit worried, to be honest, actually, because I thought I might have like messed up slightly and lost a load of money. So what I did was I just added up these figures here, which are in dollars. So you can see here the 550, that was my initial amount. That was the rewards, $20 for the first fish and chips. That was the reward, $20. And then this is where I bought some more. I bought $74 worth here, 321, 256. That was a rebate. That was where I bought $80 worth. So I was buying quite a lot. I bought this lot here for $177. For some reason, I sold $692 worth at one point. But what I did was shortly after that, I bought it all back and some more. So I bought $204 worth, $274. Then I bought $1,147 worth there, which was like 500,000 CHIPPY, so there was quite a substantial chunk there. Anyway, so what I've done, I've added up all these figures, not including the fish and chip rewards, and the grand total is $3,789.02. Now this did seem like a hell of a lot of money, so I was a bit worried about that. So I checked my Phantom wallet, and I could see that it's actually all right, really, because at the moment the value of the CHIPPY that I've got, that I've been buying, just like what you saw then, is actually $3,872.95. So I'm pretty much break even at the moment. Now this has worked out this neatly because effectively what I've been doing is some kind of dollar cost averaging, although not really. And it also helps a little bit that I've had a few $100s worth of rewards in CHIPPY as well. So overall, I'm happy. Okay, so well, what happens next? Will the price just keep going up? Well, I must say, as it's not been going up too crazily, I think probably I'm just going to keep the stash as it is, really. If we do see a pullback, I might buy a little bit more, but at the moment I'll probably just stick with the 2 million that I've got. And of course I'll be getting the fish and chip rewards every Friday as well. If we just check this out with our indicator, Quadzilla. Well, okay, well the momentum is getting quite overbought here, but I think with the news that's going to happen soon, where I think the version 2 is coming out and the new website and all that, we could actually see quite a monumental rise here. And you can see back here, back in the summer of last year, there was a very nice rise in price, even though we were getting into this rather overbought territory there. There are a couple of levels that do look interesting here though. One is this bullish retracement level here at 0.002841. So what might happen there is the price might go up to here, possibly reject a bit, and then go further up to this point here. So if that happens, is it worth selling there and then buying back there? Possibly, but what do I do if the price just goes like that? I honestly think the safest thing to do is to continue to dollar cost average. Maybe if I see a little pullback, buy a little bit more. Just carry on like that, really, because I think it will go much, much higher. Will it go back to the all-time high of May 2024? Quite possibly. If it did, that would be a 1,130% increase, which is about a 10x. So my $3,800 would become 38 grand. I'd like that. So there you go. I reckon we'll get some news about this quite soon though. So I think that's going to be great for the price. You can see here on Deck Screener that the market cap is just under 2 million now, which is really, really tiny. I mean, just imagine if this went as big as something like, I don't know, like Floki or something, which has got a market cap of $500 million. I mean, that would be a 250x from here. That would make my stash worth about $1 million. God, that'd be nice. I don't think it'll happen because things like that don't happen to me, but you never know. It might. Let me know what you think. Have you got any chippy? Would you consider getting some? Do you think you missed the boat? By the way, none of this is financial advice. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below. While you're down there, please do make sure that you are subscribed and you've got the notifications set on all. Do us a massive favour, give this video a great big fat like, and above all, tell your friends.